In a traditional corporation, you are nobody. You don't vote, you don't make decisions, you don't have any influence. In a DAO, you become a participant, a co-owner, and sometimes even a leader. These are corporations without offices, without bosses, and with a community instead of a hierarchy. DAO are already being called a new form of capital. And if you figure it out in time, you can be one step ahead of those who are still waiting for approval from above. Sounds nice, but how does it work in practice? What exactly are DAO, and why is everyone talking about them? Let's go through everything in order. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's like a company, but without bosses, without an office, and even without a legal entity. You have code, a contract on the blockchain, and tokens that give you voting rights. All management is done through voting. All storage is done on smart contracts. All movement of funds is transparent and controlled by the community. Startups, investment funds, media, metaverses, even governments. DAO are already being used in dozens of areas. And every year, their influence only grows. DAO are not just a new form of management. They are a weapon of mass coordination that changes the rules of the game. You don't have an office, no advertising budget, no connections, but you have an idea. You gather people on Discord, create a token, and set a goal. If you have charisma, a plan, and tokens in circulation, you turn the community into an army, not of employees, but of fans. DAO combines three forces: code that sets the rules, money that keeps people involved, and fanaticism that drives it all forward. Remember ConstitutionDAO? Someone just wrote on Twitter, "Let's buy the US Constitution." In 72 hours, they raised $47 million. No funds, no bosses. The meme became a movement. DAO is a way to break out of the system and create your own, to join forces with others for a common goal, and, without an office, to compete with BlackRock. But here's the question. How does it all work in practice? Who makes the decisions? And where does the DAO get its money from? In a regular company, it's simple. You have a boss, your boss has a board, and decisions are made at the top. You can invest, work hard, and offer ideas, but you're still not the one making the decisions. In a DAO, it's the opposite. Here, the budget, decisions, and directions for development depend on the community, on you. The DAO treasury is a shared wallet. Funds come in through token sales, commission fees for using the protocol, donations, or partnerships. All of this is stored in a smart contract, and no one person can spend the funds as they wish. If you want to receive funding, you create a proposal. You write, "Here is the idea, here are the goals, here is why it is useful for the DAO." And you start a voting process. Token holders vote. Those who have more tokens have more votes. But not always. Some DAO use delegation. You can delegate your vote to others if you don't want to deal with it yourself. For example, in Bankless DAO, participants regularly vote on initiatives, from creating training courses to sponsoring events. One of the projects received $100,000 to launch a decentralized educational hub. Everything is done through the community. Everything is transparent. The DAO budget is not just money. It is a way to direct the energy of the community where it is needed. Some people write articles, some do design, some promote the product. Everyone can participate if they have an idea and motivation. That is the power of DAO. You don't ask for permission. You make a proposal and participate. In a traditional company, tasks are assigned from above. In a DAO, you choose what you want to do. You see what the community needs? Just go ahead and do it. Write an article, create a meme, test a product, contribute an idea. Everything is done on your own initiative. No one gives you instructions. But if your contribution is useful, you get noticed. This is decentralized hiring. First you create value, then you get rewarded. Everything is public. Through proposals and voting, you submit a payment request yourself, and the community decides whether to allocate money from the treasury or not. For example, at Yearn Finance, a developer simply started fixing bugs. After a couple of weeks, he was invited to head the department. No resume, no interview. And at MakerDAO, teams receive salaries directly from the DAO, from $3,000 to $10,000+ per month. Everything is done through smart contracts, without bosses or intermediaries. DAO is not a chaotic gathering. It is a full-fledged organization, with budgets, plans, and a payment system. Only instead of an office, there is Discord. Instead of a boss, there are tokens. And KPIs are replaced by reputation in the community. And most importantly, you don't work for someone. You invest in what you have chosen yourself. That's why the result is stronger. Already want to quit your office job and start working for the company of the future? Here are instructions on how to become part of a DAO and earn money from your skills. First, choose a project that you are really interested in. It can be something from DeFi, NFT, or media. The main thing is that the topic inspires you. Check out platforms like DeepDAO, Snapshot, or Masari. There you can easily find dozens of active DAO that are open to new participants. Next, go to Discord. This is the heart of any DAO. This is where all discussions take place, announcements are made, roles are opened, and even votes are held. Find channels like hash bounties, hash contribute, or hash roles. This is where tasks are posted for which you can earn tokens, or even a permanent role in the team. And here's the key. You don't ask for permission. You just start doing it. If you see that a translation is needed, do it. If you find a bug, suggest a solution. Write an article, make a banner, come up with a meme. If your contribution is useful, it will be noticed. And you can apply for compensation from the DAO treasury. Everything is open, through proposals and voting. So you gradually become part of the team, no longer just a participant, but someone who influences. Many people entered the crypto industry this way, without connections, without interviews, just with enthusiasm and a desire to do something useful. The easiest way to get started is with a DAO that has good onboarding. For example, Bankless DAO, Developer DAO, Index Coop, Aragon. They have clear processes for newbies and open roles with real pay. DAO sounds like utopia, but decentralization has a dark side. First, there's chaos without moderation. When everyone is equal and there's no leader, decisions can get stuck in endless discussions. In Komorebi DAO, one simple initiative, changing the logo, was discussed for months. No one wanted to take responsibility. Everyone was in favor of everything good, but the project did not move forward. Second, management takeover. If someone has a lot of tokens, they can push through any decision. In Solen DAO, one major participant voted to gain control over user funds, simply because they could. The decision was later reversed, but trust was undermined. Third, vulnerabilities in the code. A smart contract is the rules of the DAO, and if there is a bug in them, the consequences can be catastrophic. In 2016, the DAO lost $60 million due to a vulnerability which led to the Ethereum hard fork. Recently, a similar attack occurred on Beanstalk DAO. A hacker took advantage of the situation and stole $182 million from the treasury. And there's also the passivity of the community. Many token holders simply don't vote. As a result, decisions are made by an active minority. It's like in an election, where it's not those with the most support who win, but those who show up and vote. DAO sounds like a dream. Freedom, community, influence, salary, and tokens. But it's not that simple. You may find yourself in a situation where the token you were paid with depreciates in a month. Why? Because you didn't check the most important thing, the tokenomics. Who holds the tokens? How many does the team have? When are the unlocks? Does the token have any real use in the protocol? If you don't know this, you're participating blindly. To avoid falling into this trap, there is a dedicated video on the channel where I show in detail how to analyze tokenomics and what figures to look at. And if you want to not only understand new management formats, but also earn income in the future, start with the most reliable option, staking. This is when you delegate your coins to a reliable validator and receive passive income simply for holding the asset. If you are already staking Solana, or just planning to, I have created a free Telegram bot. It shows where your SOL are, who your validator is, how much you have already earned, and most importantly, helps you understand how you can earn more. The link is in the description. In the next video, I'll talk about how passive income works in crypto, from staking to mining and stablecoin strategies. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And finally, write in the comments, would you like to work in a DAO? Or maybe you've already been a member.